I used to think that getting as jacked as humanly possible is basically going to be the cheat code to be more liked by women. And I thought that if I'm going to be as big as I possibly can, women are going to like me more by default. And that was actually a big reason of why I started lifting weights in the first place. But the reality is not always what you want it to be. And after a few years of lifting weights, I found out that women don't really give a fuck about you being jacked and about you being like huge. And it ended up being okay anyways, because I ended up growing up to be a self-centered piece of shit that just generally enjoys being jacked. So it's still okay. I still enjoy going to the gym. But initially, I did start lifting weights to be more liked by women. And then I just eventually kind of got to the point where I just fell in love with the sport. And I didn't really care about that anymore because I was just like generally happy with being muscular and being strong. And women do care about your appearance to an extent, but not in the way that you think that they care. So let's break it down and let's talk about what realistically is something that women and most normal people find attractive, and how you can actually make it worse by training as well, because there is a scenario in which you can actually make yourself less attractive to women by lifting weights and by training. So first of all, let's start off by talking what is it that women actually find attractive. So first of all, women do care about you having a reasonable amount of muscle and about you being lean. But when I mean reasonable amount of muscle, I mean like not you looking like a fucking Ronnie Coleman type of a character, but you just having like decent proportions and you having decent amount of muscle. Then another thing that they're going to care about is you being lean, but they don't want you to have this look where you're basically starving and when you look where you look like that you're going to die soon. So they do want you to be lean, like 8 to 9% body fat with like six-pack abs, some veins visible and stuff like that, but they don't want you to be like 5% body fat where you look like you're going to pass out any minute. Then another thing that they're going to care about deeply is good skin and hygiene. So first of all, go and wash your ass, apply some deodorant. On top of that, maybe develop a skincare routine that is also going to help significantly. And these are also going to be the things that are going to help you quite a lot when it comes to being liked by women. Then they do care about you working out. They want you to be strong, but they also want you to have fun. So if you're only going to be going to the gym and if you're not going to be interested in anything else and you're never going to be able to take her out for dinner or to like just have fun in general, that is also not going to work because they are going to be more interested in having fun than you just being constantly at the gym, eating chicken breast when you're not in the gym and just basically not doing anything else. Then another thing that they're going to care deeply about, and actually I feel like this probably is the biggest one, is about you talking well. So no amount of muscle is going to compensate for you having shitty communication skills. So they are going to be more attracted to men that actually present themselves properly. Maybe they're not as jacked, but as long as they talk well and as long as they're funny, that is actually going to be the biggest aspect when it comes to like what is it that they're going to appreciate. So yeah, you also have to be able to talk well. And well, the last thing that women do appreciate a lot, and this one is going to be a very obvious one in my opinion, is you having money. So you can be as jacked as you want and you can spend as much time as you want to spend in the gym. But most women are going to be interested in them being able to do fun stuff with you, you having reasonable amounts of funds. So you don't have to be like rich to find a girlfriend or to find a woman, but you do have to have like a reasonable financial situation. So these are the things that are actually going to get you women, and these are the things that women are actually attracted to. Now let's talk a little bit about how you can ruin this experience for yourself and how can you actually detract women by being more jacked and by lifting weights. So a thing that women don't like, and I feel like the biggest one that they don't like, is super large bodybuilder type guys that are roided out of their minds. That is something that is like a no-no for them and they don't like that kind of a look. So if you're just going to be like super huge and it's going to be very obvious that you abuse a fuck ton of substances, that is not going to be the look that they're going to be interested in. Then also like big, oily guys, bad skin, all of that indicates you having health problems. And even if you don't have health problems, if you're going to have these things in your appearance, it's just going to look like you do have health problems. So they're not going to like that as well. Also unstable people is not something that women are into. Mood swings in men is something that is very non-attractive for women because women already have their own mood swings and they're already going to have a lot of shit that they're dealing with. So when it comes to a man, they want a man to be stable. So once again, if you are into fitness, abusing a lot of steroids might not be a good idea because you're just generally going to have a lot of mood swings and you're generally going to be less stable, which is not a good look to have and it is not going to help you date women. Then also self-obsessed, which is something that I actually struggle with quite a lot. Women are not interested in guys that are only interested in working out and that are only interested in how is it that they look. So they want you to be kind and they want you to also pay attention to them. So if you're just going to be self-obsessed and spend all your free time at the gym, that is also not going to be something that they're going to like all that much. And once again, kind of goes into the first thing I was talking about when it comes to talking well. Bad communication skills is going to be a big no-no. So bad communication skills is not going to be something that they're going to appreciate as well. And also not able to have fun just being a bodybuilder. Women are not really into that kind of a lifestyle. So if you're just going to be focused on being a bodybuilder, if you're just going to be focused on getting bigger, then you kind of have to choose, because even at this point, so for an example, I am currently in the dieting phase where I'm trying to lose as much fat as humanly possible and I'm trying to get as jacked as I can. And during this period of time, I'm not even trying to date women. I'm not even talking to women, not because I don't want to talk to them. It's just I kind of know it's pointless because I'm not going to be able to have fun with them and I'm not able to offer anything to them. So like, what's the point in me trying to start a conversation, trying to get somewhere, just to tell her like, oh yeah, wait, I can't really go out. We can't really drink. We can't really eat. We can come home to my place. You can watch me eat chicken breast and we can fuck. That is not going to go well. That is not going to be a conversation she's going to be interested in having with you, and it is not going to work the way that you want it to work. So yeah, as you can see, basically by everything I have told you so far, it is a balance. Yes, gaining muscle and being in good shape within reason is going to be a good thing, and it is generally going to help you to communicate with women. But if you're going to take it to an extreme, and if you think that you're going to compensate for like a lack of communication skills or for a lack of being a decent human being by just getting muscular, no, you're going to be exactly the way that you are right now, alone, miserable, with your dick in your hand, and you are not going to attract a single female by just having more muscle. So yeah, that is the video for today. That is my experience with women and my experience with lifting weights and how has it changed the way that women perceive me. And yeah, basically just like be a decent human being, lift weights, be in good shape, but also work on yourself, work on your communication skills, and just be like a proper human being, and everything is going to be okay, and you are going to find a nice lady that is going to be interested in you. That is the video for today. Thank you guys for watching the video, and see you guys in the next one.